What up, watch peeps? Do you get FOMO for collabs that you know will sell out quickly? I'd be lying if I said I didn't end up with at least a couple watches that way. I like to think that's not what happened here, but I've been known to do some solid mental gymnastics before. I wanted to get one of these in, mostly out of curiosity for myself, but I also thought it might be something you all would be interested in. So let's check it out. The John Mayer Hodinkee G-Shock Perfect Storm collaboration. I'm Pete, and we are Chillin' with Watches. Alright, check out what just showed up. I gotta do this from a weird angle because this box is large, but recognize that logo. Let's get this open and see. Take a look. Oops. Oops. Sorry if I'm going off camera here. Wow, this is no joke. It's a seriously nice box for a G-Shock. There it is, the John Mayer Hodinkee G-Shock 6900. See, that colorway is really good looking in person. These came on the scene with quite the difference of opinion. They sold out like hotcakes, selling out in like 8 minutes, I think. And then they were instantly reselling at a premium all over the place. All the while getting trash talked on Instagram at the same time. So I'll try not to let any of that influence my opinion and just give my gut impression. I think right away when you look at the color palette, the gray, this blue, and this orangey yellow, it's very pleasing to the eye. I think it all goes together. It's very cohesive. I think it looks really good. I think it's an interesting choice to use the 6900 case. This is about the biggest G-Shock that I'll wear. I've tried others bigger than this, and just for me personally, I don't like the way they wear. It's definitely too big for my mom. I say that because my mom's a John Mayer fan. But yeah, to give you some idea, next to a square, you can see it's definitely bigger than a square. Definitely much thicker than a square. So wearing a 6900 is a little more of a commitment than wearing a square. The price is a little steep at $180. When what you get is basically the same watch as, you know, the $40 baseline 6900. Now, I understand you're paying for this presentation and the collaboration and all that, but I wish there was some sort of outward branding, something on the dial. Most of the new Hodinkee collaborations have Hodinkee on the dial. This does not have any of that. It does have a really cool Hodinkee John Mayer case back, and that is awesome. And the presentation in the box is also awesome. Hodinkee does not mess around in the presentation department. Functionality wise, like I alluded to before, it's exactly the same as the basic $40 6900, giving you basic time, date. This is not a world timer. It has alarm, countdown timer, stopwatch, and that is it. I also thought what you see with a lot of G-Shock collaborations is you get something on the EL light. So we'll kill the lights and take a look at that. So I think they missed an opportunity here to add in something really cool, kind of a background or a watermark on the EL like they usually do. So if you are wondering, if you have not had a 6900 before and you're wondering about that size comparison, kind of the evolution of G-Shocks here was the 5600 to the Walter, the 5900. That's Walter from the Big Lebowski wore one of these. This is probably my favorite all digital G. And then you evolve into the 6900 from there, always getting progressively bigger and thicker. just to give you some comparison to that. I think most people will be familiar with a square. I do love the display. I love the 3 eyes on the 6900. I think that's pretty cool. Neat model, but like I said, interesting choice for this collaboration. Yeah, there's nothing different from the baseline 6900 at all. Oh well, maybe a few small things. You notice there's no. Let's move this box. I think that's giving me problems with focus. You'll notice the dots that are in these ones are not present here. And those dots are something you find in almost all G-Shocks, but they are not present here. Taking a quick look at that case back. I'm going to go over the actual dimensions of these guys. It's a 45 millimeter case, and that's measuring like smallest point inside the button case there to inside the button and case there. They are 16 millimeters thick, and that's case back to the top of this edge, not crystal. And it's really hard to get a lug to lug on a G-Shock, but basically going from where it ends here to here, it is 53 millimeters. You know, G-Shocks, they're not going to wear like their dimensions would make you think. And they all have those 16 millimeter lugs. And this does not have like anything upgraded. A lot of the newer ones will have quick release in there. But you do not get that here. And we went over the functions again. Standard 200 meters water resistance like all G-Shocks have. Alarm, countdown timer, and stopwatch. And I weighed it, and it came in at 68 grams, which is weirdly 3 grams heavier than this 6900. So I don't know, maybe it's got like a nicer, more solid case back was my first thought, but they really look about the same. It does have a metal buckle as opposed to plastic, so maybe that's where it's at. Let's take a look at it on wrist. So here's how it wears on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, and as you can see from top down, not bad. It's a tad tall, but that integrated bracelet really helps deal with some of that thickness and also some of the just overall size. Now I know we've already looked at it side by side some other G-Shocks, but if you want to see it against some more traditional watches, just for comparison's sake, here it is next to the Arnie, which is also a large watch. That doesn't quite wear as big as the dimensions would lead you to believe, and something everybody knows, the Seiko SKX. So all in all, a pretty handsome watch. So in closing, I think it's very cool. The color of the case and the highlights are all very pleasing to the eye. I wish there was some maybe branding on the front, something to make it feel more special than just the case back and the box. Is it worth $180? Well, that's up to you. Are you a John Mayer fan? A collaboration collector? Any of those things is a good enough reason to say yes. But if you just want a different looking G-Shock, I think you have a lot of other options. Alright, before I let you go, sneaker check. Wearing my new Jordan 4s again. Alright, that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.